Hello and welcome back. This is going to be the next part to Path of the Empress, Step 15. And what I want to talk about briefly is simply an exercise you can do that can help release your exes and also release your DM's exes. I know that a fair amount of people see that card come up or they see it in readers' cards, and it took me a little while to figure out how to do that exactly. Because I mean, you could say release your exes or release your twins' exes, but like in my situation, I don't have any exes that I hold on to. I have maybe one that reaches out, or maybe I might say hi every couple of years. But other than that, I mean, there was actually a big joke, like when my DM jumped into the karmic situationship he was in it was shortly before my last birthday, and he sent me a happy birthday text, which I always laughed because he's always, he sends everybody, especially his exes, happy birthday or happy Thanksgiving or happy Christmas, things like that. And he's always been like, he does a lot of chores for them. He does a lot of what I call boyfriend tasks. And I never told him not to do them, but I would tease him about them. And then, so when he sent me a happy birthday text that I hadn't heard, he ghosted me. And then I barely heard from him just before that. And then he sent me happy birthday. And so I called him up and teased him about, ooh, do I get the ex's benefit package now? It's still a really big joke. It's really funny because, like, that seems to be something that he does with with his other exes. And it's funny because I don't even consider myself an ex. Like, it's a totally different thing, but it made me laugh. And throughout the year we've gone through that, but I don't do that. I think it's partly a Capricorn thing. Like, when I'm done with a relationship with somebody, I'm done. Like, done. Like, they're just, I don't know. I don't think those relationships that I had were love. I think they were limerence and trauma bonding and learning lessons and karmic situationships and things like that. So when they were done, they were done. So for me, it was like, I kept seeing readers come up with this card, release your ex. And I was like, okay, but how? Like, how do I do that? And then actually, it was funny because I thought, you know what? I don't know how to release my exes because I feel like I already have, but I could release his exes because I realized, if we're reflecting, if I need to release my exes, then he needs to release his exes, which means I also need to release his exes. So I started doing this exercise, which I recommend to you, is get out some paper, get out your journal. If you're going to listen to me, you're going to be writing a lot of things. And write down like a list of, if you want to, you could start with yours if you have some, or you could use your DM as your starting point. Write down a list of the exes and karmics that you know of on their end, and you can continue it on. Like, if they don't have a lot of exes, you could look at karmic friendships and karmic family relationships, work relationships, things like that. Like, list down the people that you hold resentments towards, or animosity or contempt or bitterness and things like that, and the people that that they hold on to hurts from, that they continue pain cycles in, and start to write out the things that they've done that, like, that you hold judgments about, that you're holding on to energy about. And this is very healing for the heart chakra. And it's also related to the Devil card, which is about releasing attachments that no longer serve us or are unhealthy for us, things like that. So write down the things that they did, and then write down write a letter, or it can be brief or it can be long, whatever. I like free association in this sense, like whatever feels like it needs to come out. If you feel like you need to tell them off first, write that out, and then write out forgiveness to them. Like, I forgive you for cheating on my person. I forgive you for being so toxic with my person that they were toxic with me because they were a hurt person hurting people, and then I became a hurt person hurting people. Whatever it is that you feel like is good in there, I forgive you for being an unhealthy parent to my DM, or I forgive you for being a bad friend to my DM, and try to get specific because you really want to dig in and see what it is that you're holding on to. and you'll kind of feel waves of things coming up. And like more than likely, once you start the first couple of them, you will start to notice that you'll be writing more and more, and you might even want to go back and rewrite a different one. Then, here's the fun thing. What I realized when I was doing this thing is that the irony is, while I may not have been holding on to my exes, my DM was. There, in fact, when we met, I had other options. I wasn't like, I was in a state of like kind of being like done with relationships, and I was just like, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna enjoy things. And I had a couple of different connections, and it was funny because he did a really good job of pretending like it didn't bother him, but it really, really bothered him. And even like in this past year of separation, like some of the things that have come up whenever we've approached the irony is, whenever we're supposed to talk about the kids and co-parenting, he brings up things that have to do with my karmics and my exes, and it's clear to me that he's still holding on to that stuff. And when I realized that early on, I started to do this exercise, and then I realized, oh, you know what, he's holding on to my exes, which to a degree means I'm holding on to my exes. And when I did the exercise of writing out like what I was upset about that his exes had done, then I realized that I was still like, part of the reason that I don't do an ex benefits package is because I was holding on to resentments towards my exes and towards even people that I didn't have like a full relationship with. In fact, there's plenty of little ones where I wanted a relationship and all they wanted was like a physical situationship with me, and I didn't want that, and I was holding on to stuff like that. So then I started to write down my exes, and then I went, oh, okay, and then I started to write down friendships that were karmic, and then write down family member stuff that was karmic, and I went through that, and I forgave them, and I released them. And actually there was a couple of exes of my DMs and a couple of mine that I've repeated the exercise for, because like, you're not necessarily going to release them right away, and this can sometimes be why you'll keep seeing the repeat of the release your exes card. In any case, I'm going to leave this short and sweet right here. I would love to hear in your comments below when you do this exercise how you feel about it, and if you found any other healthy and positive ways to release your exes and or your twin flames exes. All right, I'll see you in the next video.